Recruiting 101. No, it just sounds so intense. It's like reporting live from Baghdad. No. I gotta wear, I gotta wear like my battle helmet next week. Uh, how y'all doing? Not much. Well, lots always happening. Yeah, we got Wreckfest in a couple weeks. I think I'm kind of with you guys on the drinking thing. Kind of getting tickets for other things would be kind of fun. But today, let's dive into it. We're going to talk some automation again. I know I've got a lot of messages about this. I talk to people about this every single day, and recruiters about this every day. The right way to use automation. One of my friends, Daniel Miller, posted about it the other day, so I thought it'd be worth reflecting. How do you do this right, especially now with like AI and tools like Clay and all that stuff coming out? It's really given some really cool opportunities to leverage automation the right way and AI, and what's the balance with kind of the human touch and letting the technology do some of the work for you. So we're gonna get right into it. So I got 5 topics I want to cover. Number one, don't use extensions if you can avoid it. Use cloud-based software for, especially if you're on LinkedIn. The other thing is use a paid LinkedIn account. Don't expect to use it for free. Uh, LinkedIn wants you to pay for something: premium, sales nav, recruiter, recruiter Lite, recruiter pro. Yeah. Hmm.
For certain things. I'm not heavy on the emails. I use
Hmm.
them, they don't give you a lot also with Light. I think I only get like 30
Yep.
a month. So I'm very careful with them. But I
Yep.
use another tool for recruiting. I'm not going to say it on the air right now.
Yeah.
It doesn't violate the TOS. It doesn't, it sits on top of it too. But you have to be careful with these things if you're scraping and digging, right?
Oh, yeah, and I don't do much scraping digging. At least definitely not from LinkedIn. I know some people
Right.
definitely
That's how I
might.
get email addresses.
It can be how you get email addresses, and there's different ways, and some Google searches and X-ray searches. There's different ways to get
Hmm.
stuff outside of LinkedIn as well. I think for kind of the LinkedIn piece is we use it for connection requests, building out those drip sequences.
Hmm.
I think the ways to get around that is to be very targeted about who you're going after, right? The spray and pray, the days of the mass list and mass blast people on LinkedIn. We all get those in our inbox. They're all annoying.
Hmm.
So
So
fix
annoying.
so exactly. So use your profile as a marketing page. Let your audience know why you're reaching out without having to say much, right? Kind of your LinkedIn profile should be your connection message, is the way I look at it. And so you don't have to kind of bombard people with messages, and really no more than 3 messages for business development, 4 for candidate outreach.
Yep.
Leave on a good note. Leave the conversation, leave it open, the door open for future conversations. Have a cadence that's spaced out. Don't bombard people with 4 messages in 3 days. Some
No
people might be
way.
on vacation this week, and they might not
Well,
see it for another couple weeks. So,
Well, it's interesting. Let's talk about that too. I think it's very mindful. And I was talking to one of my clients about this going into this week of sourcing too.
yeah,
I said to them straight up, I go, I'm probably going to pause sourcing as of Wednesday. Right. And then they push back, like, what if people are actually home and responsive? And I go, I'm just going to take a general sentiment that a lot of people this weekend, it's their weekend to take off. So your email is going to get buried and you're not going to have that effectiveness. And give it a little air on the other side too. People, if you're going after passive candidates who are in the workplace, they're catching up on Tuesday.
yeah.
Hit them at night.
the
Hmm.
the holidays, especially like the federal holiday type, with the July 4th or Labor Day, it's a great time to kind of use your outreach, use your connection request on maybe networking, right, or
Hmm.
kind of building up some stuff and not maybe being super aggressive. Now with candidate sourcing, I mean, you could always, if you're giving someone a potential job opportunity and offering that out, I mean, you can throw it out there, but I think, as to your point, manage your expectations. And if you send them a message this week, maybe check in and set the cadence for a week for now, some of that. You don't have to be overly aggressive, and also let content do the work. If people are on LinkedIn, post. That's why relevant content is so important to having these automated sequences do well for you,
Hmm.
right? And that's what
Hmm.
keeps you top of mind. And the one last thing I'll say is you want to be relevant and not necessarily personalized with your message. A lot of people, and I'm sure we get this in our inbox, like, "Oh, Clark, saw you went to UMass Amherst, or you worked here, did this." It's like, I don't care. Like,
You worked at
get to
Chuck
the
E.
point.
Cheese.
Yeah.
Clark, I see you worked at Chuck E.
Well, no,
Cheese.
no,
We
no,
have so
no.
much
When
in
you were
common.
I'm not on any
15.
list. Yeah, no, I didn't
Clark,
work there.
I see that you're a male. We have so much in common.
Yeah, exactly. So, how interesting. Your last name is 2 L's, not one. It's like, all right, we'll get to the business point. And you guys might not have known that, but fun fact for you. But like, get to the point in sense of,
When there's a
you
will, there's
know,
a Cox.
let's
Oh my God.
I mean, that's why I
That's
remember your name.
what's that?
Continue. We digress.
Yeah.
At the end of the show,
Uh,
You don't need to
newsstand.
listen to him. He's
yeah. I'm moving forward. I'm
not
My
moving on
being
from
goal,
that.
my
mindful.
goal is to make her
Yeah.
cringe. I'm not demure. Sorry.
Oh
I
my God.
I think I've seen her do that
You
about
keep
6 times for
saying
me.
mindful, and it's like, it's really demure.
So I always forget the Gen Z word, but this week was good. Was it Delulu? Was it
Yeah,
I'm Delulu.
Delulu.
Delulu? Yeah.
Adam is totally
Without Joel
Delulu
here, he gets a
today.
little Delulu.
No, truly. Wait, but
Joel. So do you say
actually
Joel keeps us
something.
in check?
I think so. I think keeps you in
Yeah,
check a little bit.
he bridges the gap for sure. This
Yeah.
this this one is a little bit off the rails. But I did
That's
want to
called
say
good
something
content. It's exciting.
something something that
Boring.
stands out to me. I get these sales messages, and a lot of the time they reach out to connect. They're like, "Oh, I love your profile. I love your content," and then they start hard selling me.
Hmm.
Okay. And like you said, 4 messages in like 5 days. And I'm just like,
Brutal.
I literally got to a point yesterday where I just said to this woman, I was like, I don't appreciate being sold to when you're connecting with me, to connect and it's genuine, but like it's actually just to sell to me. But what I do like is when someone engages with my content and then follows up and is like, oh, I'd love to hear more about your work, or oh, let's schedule a time to connect. And if I see that there might be some overlap or some potential collaboration, I might take a call, but other than that, I'm not interested in being sold to.
But but we all love to buy stuff, right?
Mm.
So there's always like, and I completely agree with you
But it can
to that
my
point.
point is like
Yeah.
it can happen organically and less so. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, I offer this thing, oh, funny enough,
Or
that's actually something you're focused on.
or
But you're
take a minute
hitting.
to learn about what I do and not be so off topic. Like engage a little bit. Take me out to dinner before
Exactly, right. And I think
you know.
to your point, the people that are probably doing that have probably identified you. Is it makes sense for you guys to be connected or for them to engage in your content, right? They're spending time building a targeted list and really
Yeah.
identifying who they're using their outreach on. And I think that's where what we appreciate. That's what you're saying you appreciate is like have some interest, right? I might be in the market for email software or a CRM or a copywriter or whatever it is, but kind of why, right? What makes you think that? For you, maybe because you post consistent content, right? So if a copywriter were to engage with you, that would make sense, right? Maybe for someone and kind of do it in that realm, like, oh, you create great content. How do you go about it? Yada yada, right? Like, what are the challenges? Like, and that's the way to get intelligent with your automation. And people typically, I think what I've seen, Danielle, is people really get lazy with their list building, or it gets annoying because like, oh, I got to build the list and then I got to do manual outreach. Well, if you can automate that, spend time on focusing on building the list. That should be, and then automate an intelligent campaign to people that
Hmm.
are going to appreciate being reached out to, right? And as you said, not being hard pitched, but connect. And kind of that filtering is connect first and then see if there's an area of relevance and timing for that conversation to kind of build organically.
Definitely.
These are pro
I like
tips.
it.
And listen, Carl's Carl. Oh, geez.
You've done that twice.
Oh man, I apologize. I
Got my
He
am.
doesn't
last
have his
name right.
glasses on today.
No,
Oh
I don't have my
man.
glasses on today. But you hit the nail on the head here. It comes down to relevance and not. You don't have to be over personalized because then it gets a little creepy, right? There's a right balance there, and monitor your automated systems. Check them. Make sure they're pulling in the right data too, right? Like
The
send it to
test and all
yourself.
that.
Send it to yourself. Send it to a friend before you launch a campaign. Make sure it's pulling in. There's nothing worse when you get dear first name. Like make sure it's working, like the basics of
I've done
automation.
that a couple
I've gotten
times
that before.
when I was learning. Yeah, and the one last thing I say is I talk about like a personalized second message, and what I mean by that is like personalized when someone replies to you, your introduction or
Mm.
whatever, you ask a question, like then you can do some digging on their content, their LinkedIn profile, and all that, and like and have more of a personalized second message reply, and you can kind of make it a little bit more specific. What I mean by this for recruiters, if you have a prospect reply to you that talks about their hiring process or whatever, or where they're at right now, check the open jobs on their LinkedIn, on their careers page on their website, and be like, hey, I saw this role has been open for a little bit. Like that seems like it might be under your department. Like, how are you guys going about that search? Right? When you see someone is engaged with you on LinkedIn, that's the tell to kind of dive a little bit deeper. So, just different ways to kind of think about it and make it happen.
I dig it, Carl.
Twice. Twice.
That one was on purpose.
Yeah.
Tell everybody why they should be checking out Digital Recruiter and who's it for.
Ooh, digitalrecruiter.io or connect with me on LinkedIn, Clark Wilcox, with 2 L's, as Adam kindly
Clark.
reminded us.
It's not Carl.
So we work with
Clark.
recruiters, agency recruiters, corporate recruiters, setting up sales, marketing, and recruiting systems to save you a ton of time and get you to do more of what you need to do, which is conversations with people that are going to fill the roles. So yeah, come check us out.
Clark knows what he's doing. He has incredible success stories. I know it firsthand. I've seen it. This dude knows his stuff, and I want to thank him always for being an incredible correspondent on the show. Thank you for joining us. What do you got going on Labor Day weekend?
That's a
some time with
great
the
question.
kid.
Just take my boy to the playground. Hang out. We did touch a truck last weekend. He saw fire trucks and police cars, so he had a great
Always
time.
fun.
So to the zoo, science museum. Who knows? So keep it chill.
Get crazy. Maybe go to Home Depot, Bed Bath and Beyond.
I don't have enough time.
I don't know if you have enough time. I don't know if you have enough time. I didn't think I was going to crowbar that reference in, but Clark, take care. Have a great weekend, and thank you for joining us.
Thanks, y'all. Appreciate you both.
Clark.
Yeah.